Hieronymous, I love you so much, and I am looking forward to spending a few days with you at Ravane Cottage. It reminds me of when we spent time there last summer and just watched the sun set together as we sat out on the lawn. It also reminds me of Hawaii. Remember when Daniel was still asleep and we crept out and walked along the shoreline and held hands and watched the sunrise? And remember when we watched the sun set when we cuddled up on the beach after our fight with Damien and we decided to finally be together again and everything felt good and right with the world? And remember our first May Day together? I don't think I ever told you this, but I was kind of scared and nervous and I was worried that it was going to hurt, but you were patient with me and you took things slowly. I remember how much you wanted me even before that, but you waited until I was ready. And then remember how much fun we had at Ravane Cottage when you took me to the pool on our first day there? And then all the fun we had in the library and on the grounds and in the super giant bed? I know you might be busy while I'm there, but that's okay. Maybe we can take at least a little time to relive some of those memories, or make some new ones. I hope these reminders help you feel better. As your wife, this is my duty. Tori. The next day, there is a knock on my door and I open it to see Lavinia there, holding out a framed print for me. What's this? I ask hesitantly as I look from her to the photo. Is that for me? No, Lavinia snaps before her voice takes on a haughty tone. No, even though this is just a print and not an original painting, I use this to serve as an inspiration. She is a quintessential English rose, you see. Not the daring and fashionable Gibson girl, but a more traditional beauty, delicate and fair. Don't you see her ash brown hair? So unassuming and untouched by artifice. I purse my lips as I stare her down. My husband happens to love my hair, and more importantly, so do I. I'm not changing it. Of course, Lavinia says, sweeping her long black hair off one shoulder. This is a model of true beauty. You will never measure up to that standard, of course. If you're not careful, you may become known as a blue stocking. I can't help but frown at her. I get blue because of my hair, but blue stocking? Lavinia repeats, her tone at the height of frustration. An overly intellectual woman. Oh, I wouldn't mind being one of those, I reply. I pause for a moment and think about Ellen. Her stubborn insistence that she was right ultimately led to her expulsion. I think about her and me and Virginia. We're all horses. We were stubborn and bold. Perhaps we could all stand to learn a lesson in humility, but if that was true, Lavinia needed one as well. Lavinia just snorts through her nose, completely unaware of my inner struggle. The ideal English lady is accomplished and well-read, but only enough to make polite conversation, not enough to be challenging. Manners, accomplishments, and, of course, a good fortune can go a long way to make up for a less than ideal appearance. I pause as I look her over. It seems like you're trying to be helpful in your own way, but I have to ask you why. Well, we all live under one roof. We're practically like sisters, Lavinia replies. I try to hide the look of revulsion on my face. Well, thank you for this lesson, I say quickly. It has been very enlightening. Just remember that English men want English women, she continues. To succeed in our society, you must be English to the very core. Right now, you are young and your boldness makes you a novelty, like a charming ornament, but that will not last. Just look at Miss Minchin. My brow furrows. What about her? Miss Minchin will always praise us in all our endeavors because we are young ladies from good families and she benefits from our wealth. It doesn't mean that she cares for us. You understand why I'm telling you all these things, don't you, Tori? I am your role model, and you are my responsibility. I want to help you be happy and successful in your life as an Englishwoman. We are two of a kind, you and I. Once you have settled in, I think we will be very good friends. Maybe, I say at length. We'll see. Lavinia's smile turns mischievous as she turns to go before she suddenly turns back. Oh, and I left a present for you with Mariette. It's a book. Middlemarch, Book 1, Miss Brooke, by George Eliot. I can't help but frown. Lavinia was giving me a book? What's it about? It contains excellent information about provincial life in England, she replies. I think you will find it most edifying. It is not precisely a book intended for young women who have not completed their studies, but neither you nor I are precisely ordinary. I believe that we are cultured and intelligent enough to appreciate proper literature. I raise an eyebrow. I thought you said women weren't supposed to be intelligent. Lavinia frowns at me. I said that it is frowned on to be overly intellectual. That's not the same thing, and if you don't want to read it, then you should just give it back. I'll read it, I say, holding up my hands in surrender. Just trying to understand what's going through your mind right now, that's all. Being intelligent is how you think and what you know, but being intellectual is what you do with it, Lavinia explains. Lecturing someone on what they should and should not do is not socially appropriate. But to be intelligent and well-read within your own circles will create more interesting conversations with other ladies, and that is desirable. That wasn't the part that was confusing me, I reply. Why are you treating me as a friend? Have you ever shown this book to Jessie? I thought she was your best friend and confidant. Jessie is my best friend and always will be, but you and I share things that she never could, Lavinia continues. Her family is not the best, you know, and you are far cleverer than she is. Even Jessie would admit to that. When a lady enters society, she needs all the friends that she can get. Lavinia stops talking, realizing her sudden slip. So you want to make me an ally to improve your social standing? I ask. I am doing you a favor, Lavinia retorts. When you enter society, you will need someone who can show you the way of things. We can help each other, Tori. She runs her tongue over her upper lip and her eyes flash in the dim light of the hallway. Just think about what I said. With that, she turns and heads back down the hallway. I just stare after her before I close the door shut behind me and try to figure out what Lavinia's sudden appearance here meant, if it meant anything at all. Did her family write to her and encourage her to try to befriend me? Was it something that Miss Minchin had said to her? She said that I needed allies to survive in this world. She said that I needed to change my appearance and my behaviors to really blend in as a proper English lady. But I didn't want to be a lady. I just wanted to be Tori. Unfortunately, I wasn't quite sure I knew what that meant anymore.